Hello and welcome to my corner of the internet. I'm Darkbloom and today we're going to be talking about The Finals. The Finals is a new unique first-person shooter with emphasis on environmental destruction. The destruction isn't just for show either, it plays a huge and meaningful part in the overall gameplay and it does it very well. Developed by Embark Studios, The Finals has just recently went into open beta. Yeah, I know, open beta, but hear me out because I've been playing it and I have some good things to say about it. And if I'm being honest, I really like this refreshing take on the FPS genre. I like the gunplay, I like the maps, and I love the destruction mechanics. The game isn't perfect though, with some balancing issues that will be ironed out hopefully as the game goes on. There is also a very limited selection of game modes, currently with only 2 at the time of this video, 3 if you count the tournament mode. That being said, I think this game is off to a very strong start, and I wanted to talk about it, so let's dive into the finals. The Finals is a refreshing take on an arena shooter. A team of 3, is pitted against a couple of other team of 3s inside of a giant city arena with destructible buildings, floors, everything in between, and you're pitting on a show for a virtual audience. The Finals is essentially a game show with guns and destruction. And they play it off by saying in the game that it's a virtual world, but the real world fame from this is real. So, they have a little VR spin on the concept. But I think they do it very well, and they open themselves up to some cool costumes ideas. And I'm excited to kind of see where it goes. It's a free game, so unfortunately we have to deal with battle passes and microtransactions. But the game is kind of generous. When you first start out with the open beta, they give you 10,000 coins to kind of kit yourself out a little bit so you're not running around with no outfit. And the battle pass is free for the open beta. I suspect that's going to change with the full release, of course, because they need money and the game is free. But for now, they're being pretty generous, and I appreciate that, especially in the gaming industry, where greed is just eating everything up day by day, unfortunately. And it all started with the goddamn horse armor. Sorry, off topic. So I bet you're wondering, well, what the fuck makes the Finals different from any other first-person shooter? Why should you download and try this game at least a couple matches? Why should you? Well, hear me out, because I'm about to tell you. Let's start off by diving into the game modes. There are currently only 2 casual modes available, and then a tournament mode, which is one of the highlights of this game, if I'm being honest. The tournament mode sets you up in like a bracket system, and the teams that qualify will move on to the next round to face another team that qualified. Yes, it can get sweaty, but honestly, that's every game nowadays, so give or take, whatever you prefer. I still find it fun, and it's a compelling rank mode for a game, if I'm being honest. And there's 2 casual modes, are Quick Cash and Bank. Both of these modes play similar, setups are different. Bank It has 1 extra team thrown into the mix and is on a larger scale compared to Quick Cash. The focus of Bank It is to collect as many coins as possible and deposit them. Quick Cash is the most casual of the modes in my opinion. 3 teams of 3 go against each other for a total of 20k, each vault has 10k. The goal is to find the cash box and then make it to a depositing point and hold it. The game mode can end fairly quickly depending on how good you do, or it can run the whole timer. It depends on how good the teams you're facing. Quick Cash is essentially the tournament mode as well, cash out, but minus 1 team. So there's that. The game's beta has 3 classes starting out. You have small, medium, and large. Smallest is the fastest movement, while large is the tank of the game. Medium is a fair balance between the 2. Each class has a pretty good set of gear you can equip. I do think there is some balancing issues with small and large. And yeah, you know what I mean if you played the game, but I'm sure all those things will be ironed out and the balance of the gameplay will be set accordingly. Medium is a pretty solid experience. It's my favorite class, mainly because it's balance and the healing gun, so that's always a really fucking clutch thing to do at the end of a match when we're about to lose and I save a teammate and we end up clutching it for the win. It's happened a couple of times, so the healing gun, A+ to me. You can have a solid experience with each of the classes. They play differently enough to where you will have a preference, so like I said, I prefer medium, but I went against some people that main large, you can tell, and man, those that utilize the flamethrower and mesh shield, oof, it's a hard fight against them. Same with the dual invisibility of a small. When they like to run around and you can't hit them and they just run away from you and pelt you left and right, it can throw you off. But like I said, there's advantages and disadvantages of each class in this game, which I enjoy. There is just some OP abilities and it's obvious. Alright, let's discuss maps. The Finals features 3 maps currently, Monaco, Seoul, and a new 3rd map that wasn't in the closed beta, Skyway Stadium. I know the count number might seem low because it is, but the maps themselves are fairly large and each map feels a bit different due to the destruction and objective placement. I think the maps do their job and they do it fairly well. They're nice to look at, fun to run around in, and each has its own features that make it distinct from the other. I'm actually looking forward to future maps because, like I said, I played a lot of games of this already and I haven't gotten bored of the maps yet. Usually if a game has a low map count, I get bored fairly quickly. That's not the case here. But that's just me. I'm not sure how you'll take it or other people are taking free maps. But to me, it's not a big deal right now. Overall, I think the finals is off to a pretty strong start. It's really fun to go around the intense city arenas, blow up buildings. The gunplay is really good. Speaking of the gunplay, it has a really refined feeling, and I think that stems from the fact that Embark Studio houses some of the former Battlefield developers, and it's a pretty strong aspect of the game is the gunplay and the destruction physics, and there's even some hints of Battlefield's former Levolution. Like throughout some of the matches, there will be events happening on the map like a meteor shower or mega damage or something like that, and it feels like a piece of that Levolution they used to call it for Battlefield. And the fact that it's former Battlefield developers, it solidifies that point a little more to me. And if I'm being honest, I really fucking hate Nexon, and unfortunately Embark Studios is a part of them. Nexon is their parent company. So that's a big downside to this for me, because Embark Studios actually seems like a very promising developer. I really hope Nexon keeps their fucking greedy hands out of their cookie jar. But we both know, you know, me and you watching, that's not going to be the case. Nexon is going to milk anything they can. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about right now with the finals is Nexon. That and the goddamn game doesn't want to save my keybinds. I'm trying to change the expect weapon keybind away from my push attack, and then just every match I have to redo it. So it takes precious seconds away from my gameplay, which in the finals, getting to the objective first can have a big difference. So yeah, these are my initial thoughts about the finals. I have no idea where the game's going to stand a month or a year from now. I have no idea how long my fun with the game's going to last, but for right now, I'm enjoying it and I'm going to continue playing it. And if you're looking for a new first-person shooter that's not fucking Call of Duty, check out the finals. I highly recommend it. It's different and it tries to stick out among a mundane genre nowadays that is just formulaic as hell. And I really appreciate the unique spin on the genre. I really dislike the parent company of Embark Studios, but Embark Studios is on to some good stuff, and I'm looking forward to Arc Raiders as well. Hopefully that game will stick up. But for now, the finals, pretty okay game. Go check out that beta. That's all I have to say today, really. Take care, guys. Have a good one. We'll be back with another video in about 3 days, and yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoyed.